The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Rodgers broke his silence on the Jets-Steelers matchup coming up in just 3 days. Wait till you hear what he had to say, and then wait till you hear the comparison an ESPN reporter made about this showdown. We'll get to that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Dylan Tereman's going to join us. Let's hit it and get it started. Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's with
Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines of every game and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Yes, it does. Welcome in, everybody. Hit the like button and make sure that you are a subscriber to the show. We are presented by FanDuel. Jets Steelers on Sunday. If you're going to bet on the game, do it with FanDuel. If you're betting on the game tonight, do it with FanDuel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about on the show. We say hello right now to our weekly Thursday afternoon guest, Dylan Tereman. DT, how we feeling, man? 3 days until the pain of Jets football returns.
I don't even know if we have to wait 3 days, right? Judging by a lot of the atmosphere around the Jets right now, some people are already moving on to March and April. So I have kindly put on my Reese's Senior Bowl hat because we don't need to talk anything NFL. We can just skip right to the college stuff. No, on a serious note, this is going to be awesome. It's the first time we're doing a game week show. Me on your channel. This is going to be awesome. New day, Thursday. Sorry, Nick Shine, I set you up to lie. He thought we were both going to be taken down Wednesdays on the Jake Asman Show. That is not the case. So sorry, Nick, but Thursdays are going to be fun, man. I appreciate you having me.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to get you on Thursdays because this is right around that time in a typical week. Week one's a little different where, at this point, you fully have flushed the previous week, and you're all in looking ahead to what's coming on Sunday. But we're going to start with the enemy on Sunday, Aaron Rodgers. So I have two clips we're going to play. And for those wondering, what the hell is this thumbnail with Voldemort? Lord Voldemort, for those who don't know who that is, that's the bad guy in the Harry Potter franchise. So for those wondering why that's in the thumbnail, you're going to need to watch your screen. First, we start with Rodgers being asked about the Jets. Now, this press conference was about 8 minutes long. I edited it down to under a minute 30 where he's only talking about the Jets and the specific questions related to that. So here's Rodgers being asked all sorts of questions about facing Aaron Glenn and the New York Jets.
Aaron, is there anything more for you opening up against the Jets at all, or is this just like another regular season game?
Yeah, it's week one.
Obviously, it's a different staff in New York, but is there a familiarity with the defense that can help you in game prep this week?
I mean, I know some of the guys. Obviously, the Williams brothers and Sauce and TA and Jamie and Michael Carter, Debo, Michael Clemens. My buddy Jermaine's coming back from his Achilles. Don't want to forget anybody. Who else do we got over there? I mean, the young guys, McGregor, and what's my man from Miami? Had a nice preseason, 98. Am I sorry about that, my brother? Marcelino, McCurry Ball. Love Lino. So yeah, I know the guys pretty well, but they run a little different scheme.
How much are you keeping in touch with them, or have you kept in touch with them or anybody else in the organization?
I'm not going to tell you that.
What will be the emotion for you walking into MetLife on Sunday?
I'll just be excited for week one.
Comparatively, how do you feel
Last
physically?
one? Compared to what?
Compared to the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. I feel real good. I got a lot of great people I work with in my off time, and had 3 days with my bodywork guy out west, and feeling really good.
So Rodgers not saying a whole lot there, right? It's week one. tried to downplay it. So then right after that press conference, ESPN Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor went on SportsCenter, and this is what she was asked about that exchange.
We just heard a little bit from Aaron Rodgers, but Brookie, what else did Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers say today about their approach when they faced the Jets?
Well, Elle, it was what Aaron Rodgers didn't say that I found particularly notable, and that's that he never said the word Jets. He never said Aaron Glenn. It was a little bit of the Voldemort treatment. We're not going to give power to the name by saying it. And I think that that's because Aaron Rodgers is really trying to downplay the significance of going back to MetLife to play the Jets. He was asked if this was just business as usual, if there was more to this game, and he said it's week 1. He was asked, hey, what are your emotions going to be walking into the tunnel onto the field at MetLife? And he said, I'd be excited because it's week 1. And that's really been this team's entire approach. They are not giving the Jets any bulletin board material. Keanu Benton, who played with Braylon Allen at Wisconsin, was asked about Allen, and he said, he's a good guy. DK Metcalf was asked about Sauce Gardner, and he said, yeah, he's a good DB. So this team is not trying to give the Jets any extra smoke going into this game, but I did ask DK Metcalf if he got a sense that this game means more to Aaron Rodgers, and he said, yeah, but it has nothing to do with the fact that he's facing his former team. He just wants to go out there and play football, and yeah, it left a bad taste in his mouth, but he wants to go out there and win as many games as he can.
Pittsburgh, a 2.5-point road favorite. That's the latest according to ESPN Bet. Side note, because you mentioned Voldemort, we can all agree that Aaron Rodgers would be in House Slytherin, right?
Pew, pew, pew. Abracadadoodle.
It all goes full circle, baby. Aaron Rodgers returning to MetLife, and because, of course, there has to be some sort of Harry Potter reference because that's how the universe works. DT, your thoughts? Rodgers, Voldemort. Now, it's interesting. We as Jet fans look at Rodgers as Voldemort now, but in this scenario, for anyone who actually watches Harry Potter and knows the story, Aaron Glenn's actually Voldemort. Rodgers is not saying his name. He's not referencing Glenn. He's not referencing the organization that released him. That's the storyline. It's actually in reverse. In this case, for Steelers fans, Rodgers is Harry Potter. For Jet fans, Glenn is Harry Potter going up against Rogermort. So your thoughts, DT? You got to unmute your mic, and then you can give us
I got to unmute myself first. My cursor was going all over the place. It was really not letting me hit the unmute button. This is setting up to paint the biggest as maniac tie-in story for week 1 ever, right? Aaron Rodgers, aka Harry Potter, is going to walk into the Forbidden Forest, aka MetLife Stadium, and he's going to meet one cloaked man named Aaron Glenn, aka Voldemort. And Aaron Glenn's going to turn to him and he's going to say, Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback who lived, comes to die. Abracadoodle! And that's what's going to happen. That's exactly how this is playing out. I love it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, we know he's a media savant, right? He's not going to tip his hand. He said that he's very healthy. He loved shouting out all the different players on the Jets defense. We know he's probably not what Aaron Rodgers has always been, right? He really wasn't Aaron Rodgers when he was in New York, so it's hard to anticipate him being Aaron Rodgers of old in Pittsburgh now. I don't know. I think he's obviously holding things back, but day of the game, all of that stuff is going to come out from the players, right? Maybe not externally, but internally. They're going to let go of all those demons, right? The Jets are going to unleash their demons on Rodgers. Rodgers is going to try to unleash his demons on the Jets, and it's rearing up to be one of the loudest entrances at MetLife. I know we were all loud in a positive way when Rodgers came out in 2023. There's going to be a lot of Steelers fans at MetLife. We know that. I am going to be there booing as loud as I can. Despite how much I do like Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to boo the shit out of this guy. And I hope that you hear the boo birds all the way in Western New Jersey, right? And I think it's going to be a really fun matchup. I want Aaron Rodgers in week 1 over any other time of the season, right? If this was a week 4 game, I would be more nervous because Aaron Rodgers is going to have some chemistry with his guys, right? Week 1, there's so many unknowns, and he talked about unscouted looks, right? 30 to 40% of these looks are going to be unscouted on both sides. Do we have more faith in Engstrand's unscouted looks over Arthur Smith's? I certainly do. And we also have to consider the fact that even if we have unscouted looks from the Steelers offense, Rodgers changes those looks. So there's going to be a lot going into this game that I'm super hyped up about. And I think everybody's kind of from a player and coach perspective, kind of just like holding it in, bottling it in until, about an hour, 90 minutes before game time. And then it's just going to unleash. And I think there's going to be a little bit of bad blood on Sunday.
Well, the thing is, with the booing of Rodgers, he's not going to be individually introduced. It's just when the Steelers offense comes out. Like, the Steelers are going to be booed when they come out of the tunnel. They're going to be booed when they take the field. Like, any road team would be booed when they're playing the Jets and the Jets at home. So, like, there's so much being made about, Rodgers, what reception is he going to get? He's going to be booed just like every road team gets booed when they play the Jets at MetLife. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said just Aaron Rodgers specifically. I'm going to boo the shit out of everybody wearing a black and gold uniform in MetLife Stadium, including my cousin who I'm going with. She will get booed. And if it is raining during the tailgate, her ass is not going under the tent. She's outside the tent getting rained on, and I'm going to be in the dry of underneath the tent drinking my Yingling. So I'm really hyped up for this. But yeah, I'm just going to boo the Steelers in general. Like, I don't have bad blood toward Rodgers. It's just an unfortunate, circumstance where we all kind of were hyped about Rodgers. I know you and I specifically were very hyped about Rodgers, almost to a fault, right? Like, almost to the point where we were like defending his awful play down the stretch. And it was like, well, he's kind of getting back healthy. Maybe we should keep him. It's just been a very hectic, last couple months, especially since AG took over, had to make the decision on Rodgers. I don't really have ill will towards Rodgers, but I want to beat the shit out of him. I want to make it so that he decided to come back to Pittsburgh this year in his age 41 season. I want to make it so that he doesn't want to play his week 2 opponent. And I don't even know who it is for the Steelers, but that's how badly I just want to get after him. And I
just want to win, man. I don't feel great about this game. I think the Jets can win, but I don't care how they do it. I just want to win. Like, I'll be rooting for Aaron Rodgers every other game this year. Like, I have no ill will towards the guy at all. I respect the hell out of him and love the fact that he wanted to be a Jet. It's just, he got hurt. My big fear in this game is way more with Justin Fields than Aaron Rodgers. I'm very concerned, DT, about this offense going into this game. I'm hoping Cam Hayward doesn't play. He didn't participate at practice today. There's a contract dispute going on with him in Pittsburgh. So take all the time you need, Cam. If you need to sit out to get your money, you do that. But like to me, I was very initially worried about Rodgers torching the Jets. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm worried, can the Jets score enough points to be able to win this game on Sunday?
Yeah, and somebody was like combining Rodgers like last 4 or last 3 week 1 starts, and they're pretty, bad numbers. Like, let's just be honest, they're pretty bad. I think it was 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions, sub 200 passing yards per all 4 or all 3 of those games. So there is a chance that you could come out and smack the Steelers in the mouth. I am worried, yes, about our offense and obviously the loss of, there you go with the stats. Exactly. Yeah. And what is that, Aaron Rodgers? Oh, these are in Green Bay at the bottom. Yeah.
These are his week 1 stats, the last 4 week 1s he's played in.
That 38-3 loss, that was against New Orleans, right? Yeah. Yep. That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen, just from the Packers, but also Aaron Rodgers in general. And, it's not going to be an easy win for the Jets by any stretch. I have this at basically a coin flip, right? I have the Jets at 51% chance to win, and that's just because you can't go 50-50 and pick a winner. So I'm really intrigued to see, one, how we combat Rodgers, because I think we have the defenders who know enough about Rodgers that they can get after him, right? Harrison Phillips up the gut. We saw, you were in London when he sacked Rodgers. That was a huge play in that game when Harrison Phillips sacked Rodgers up the A-gap. That's going to be my game plan for the Jets. Blitz in the A-gap specifically. Don't try to come off the edge and rush around the tackles. Just blitz right up the A-gap. That's the easiest, the quickest path to the quarterback is a straight line from the interior of the defensive line. I'm really intrigued to see how we combat Rodgers. But yeah, on the flip side, you lose your best offensive lineman in AVT 4 or 5 days before the season, and you have a lot of question marks about your own quarterback. I guess what it comes down to me, Jake, is the game plan that the Jets and the Steelers have is probably very similar, right? Heavy personnel, 12, 13 personnel, get all your tight ends on the field and try to run the ball. My biggest, I guess, advantage for the Jets is I actually think the Jets and Justin Fields will run the ball and stick to the game plan longer than the Steelers will. Aaron Rodgers, we know how it goes. If that first down run doesn't yield yards, he's calling out of that second down run and he's going to try to pass it. So I do think there's going to be a bit of an internal struggle between Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith and trying to, get that game plan out consistently for 4 quarters. I think the Jets can do it. They've showed that they are very determined to run the ball. So if it comes down to who kind of blinks first and changes the way that they wanted to do things, which I think it's going to be ground and pound on both sides, I would give the edge to the Jets because I feel like they're going to be consistently trying to run the ball more than the Steelers.
End of this show. Let's make someone's day. Let's give away a Jets jersey. We gave out a signed Ray Lucas helmet on the first show. Listener Ryan won that one. It's already been sent to him, so he will have it in a couple days. End of the show today. Justin Fields jersey, Garrett Wilson jersey, Sauce Gardner jersey, JJ, Quinnen or Quincy jersey of your choosing. You got to be in it to win it. And then our weekly prizes for those who are tuning in or forgot already what I announced. Sign Namath, sign Weeb Eubank helmet, sign Sauce, sign Mawai. Those are the top 4 prizes in the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Dylan, are you concerned that Perk Rodgers could be making an appearance at MetLife on Sunday?
Yeah, I made this joke on social media, and I just saw this exact screenshot of it, and somebody said, uh-oh, Perk Rodgers is back. And I was like, that's the last version of Aaron Rodgers that I want to see on a football field. I remember that week 1 game against the Chicago Bears. I believe it was 2019 or 2020, and he got carted off, went to the locker room in the first half. He got the whatever types of injections or painkillers in the locker room, and he came out in the second half and he lit up the Bears. And obviously he owns the Bears. We know this, but I don't want to see Perk Rodgers. I think that's one of the most dangerous Aaron Rodgers you can see because then he can't feel anything. So it doesn't matter how many times Will McDonald and Quinnen Williams and Jermaine Johnson sack him. He's just going to get back up. So Perk Rodgers, I'm definitely not looking forward to if that's who we get on Sunday.
The Jets have released their injury report for Thursday, and there's some good news there. Sauce Gardner, a full participant. Tyrod, a full participant. So they are going to be good to go. Obviously, AVT is listed as a DNP. We know he's done for the season. They just have not officially placed him on injured reserve just yet. Chuma Okorafor, who's the backup tackle now on this team, who has a name that is tremendously difficult to pronounce. He was limited today, so we will watch that one. But my understanding is he's expected to play. You know, the big one for the Steelers, we mentioned it already, Cam Hayward. He's dealing with a contract dispute. They're calling it a resting, vet day, but there's more to it than just that. So let's see what the deal is with him. Derek Harmon, we know, is not going to play. Like that's been like a known thing. And I don't think Herbig is going to either. So that's another potential loss for their defense. He's probably a game time decision, but Steelers people I spoke to said they wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, from the Jets' perspective, obviously seeing a guy like Okorafor with the hand injury as a DNP yesterday, even though they didn't practice, it's a little bit concerning because he would be the first guy up at right tackle. And now you have, Max Mitchell and Essapol as your only 2 really tackle backups. And with the loss of AVT, you've lost a guy who can play at 80% of the positions on the offensive line. So it was a little concerning to see him on the injury list. Obviously, it's good to see him now limited today instead of a DNP. And obviously, Sauce being healthy is great. John Simpson not being on this list is fantastic. Obviously, a back injury is never anything you want to mess with. Shout out to Michael Parsons and that whole Green Bay thing now that he's got this injury, which to me, I think Jerry leaked that he had the injury. But either way, you don't want to see a back injury for any of your players who are like above 26 years old. And John Simpson is that. So seeing that he's healthy is great. Flip side, yeah, Derek Harmon, that was a really tough watch to see him get hurt in the preseason, right? Their first round pick. He was in like the third quarter of a preseason game that I really didn't think he should have been in. And it was just unfortunate to see him, completely emotional coming off the field on the cart. And then Cam Hayward, I think, is the biggest one, right? I know it says veteran rest. There was speculation. He was like on a podcast or a radio spot earlier this week, and they asked, "Are you going to play?" And he said, "We'll see." Like, you don't really say that. I mean, yeah, it's gamesmanship at the end of the day, but take all the time you need, big fella. And if you don't come back week 1, I don't think any Jets fan is going to be upset, and that would greatly increase the Jets' chances of winning on both sides of the trenches. I think they're going to win defensively in the trenches, but can you win offensively in the trenches without AVT? And Cam Hayward would be a big X factor in that.
Couple membership shout outs here / super chats. Derek, you're the first person to enter the raffle during the show. You're in for one. And Jay, he gifted a membership to himself at 1:35 p.m. this afternoon. Jay, I got you down in the raffle for 1. Rasta Dread says, get me in the raffle again. Rasta, you're in for 2. And Brian Farrell with a super chat here says, Jets win 20-17. I think that's the range that you're probably expecting for this game. Like, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. If you look at the win totals around the league or the over-under totals around the league for week 1, the Jets-Steelers game is the lowest over-under because it's probably going to be a lower-scoring game. That's at least what the odds makers are expecting, and that's kind of my feel for it too.
Yeah, I think it was exactly 37.5, so 20-17. That's kind of where I'm at. It's going to be a 3-point swing either way. I think it's going to come down to either who has the ball last, if they can punch in, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown to take the lead at the end of the game, or it's going to be, okay, can that team on defense make that one final stop in the end of the fourth quarter? I really think it's going to be close the whole game. I was asked yesterday on my stream if I thought the Jets could go wire to wire. I think it's possible, right? They can come out, stop Aaron Rodgers on the first drive, kick a field goal, and, keep it close and have the lead throughout the game. But I'm so coin flippy on who I think that is going to win this game. I have to put the Jets 51%. Like I said, I just think they're going to stick to the game plan slightly longer, and it's going to work a little bit better because teams that abandon the run too quickly, we see what happens, right? It doesn't work out. Even like the Bengals. Joe Burrow threw it all over the yard last year, and it didn't really matter. It only resulted in 7 wins. So I really think if your game plan is to go heavy with tight ends, which we have 5 of them technically with Beck, and you want to run the ball, that's what you're going to have to do for all 4 quarters. Do not start, okay, we're down 7 points. Now we got to throw the ball every play because Justin Fields isn't equipped to do that, right? So it's all about keeping the game plan intact as long as possible, and I do think the Jets actually have a better shot at doing that.
Is that Brandon Eccles I'm talking to or Dylan Tereman? Brandon Eccles said this earlier today, the former Jet corner now with the Steelers. He was asked about facing Justin Fields, and he said, quote, his legs are probably one of his most dominant traits, so we just try to eliminate that and force him to have to play quarterback. If we do that, I think we should be good. The Steelers clearly not trying to create bulletin board material. I don't know if this is like truly bulletin board material, but here we go, DT. It's, make him play quarterback, which is essentially saying we don't think he can play quarterback. We think he's just a running back that happens to be listed as a quarterback. Your thoughts on these comments? I think a lot of us kind of feel that way a little bit about Fields, but obviously the Jets are trying to go out there and change that narrative with him this season.
I don't know if this was a purposeful move by the Pittsburgh media, but Rodgers didn't mention any bulletin board material. DK didn't mention anything. I don't think any of the starters on defense that were asked about, they didn't mention any bulletin board material. So you go to the backup cornerback who used to play in New York to try to find your bulletin board material. First of all, I don't even think Brandon Eccles faces Justin Fields. I don't think he plays. He might suit up, but they have 3 corners who are going to start ahead of him. Like, he's number 4. He's coming off the bench. Like, is he actually going to see the field? So for him to give this exact quote and say what I basically said is you got to force Justin Fields to pass it. Jets fans can talk about that all they want, but the second an opposing player says something like that, it's up on the board, at least in my opinion. And I'm going to use that to my advantage. And I'm going to tell Justin, they want you to play quarterback. Okay. I think he can play quarterback. It's just not going to look like what I think people's generalized idea of playing quarterback looks like. When people say, he's got to play quarterback, they anticipate him being Aaron Rodgers in his prime or Matt Stafford or even like Jared Goff, guys who are going to put up like crazy high passing numbers. No, playing quarterback means you can run the ball, you can pass the ball. As long as you do it efficiently and you don't turn the ball over, you're a damn good quarterback in this league. And I think Justin is going to prove that even though he's not going to light the world up in the air, he's going to play quarterback at an efficient level. And I don't think this is going to actually turn out well for Brandon Eccles. I think he's going to end up eating these words.
It's a new month, so we updated the full list of names for our countdown ticker to all the Patreon users. Thanks to everyone who supports me and the channel there, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show for bonus shows, your name in that intro, exclusive events, discounts year-round in the merch store, 20% off. Our recent Patreon subscribers, I want to give a shout-out to Daniel Bloom, David Osina, Husky Gazelle, Jets Jesus, Thomas Bashaw. Thank you all for signing up for the Patreon. If you want access to our private Discord, that's how you get in. And if you sign up for the year, you do save 15% when you join for the year. Thanks to everyone on Patreon for your support. Mike Dems gifting a membership. He's in the raffle for 1. Jesse P gifting a membership. He's in the raffle for 1 as well. Les checks in. He says, greatest tag team on YouTube. Jake and DT. Thank you, Mike. Do you guys think we should pick up an offensive tackle or run with what we have? Dylan, your thoughts on Mike's question?
No. I don't think we have to pick up an offensive tackle. I think we're going to have to stick with what we got for now. Obviously, things can change down the road. But I was asked this question also. Who are the free agents that I would bring in to combat AVT's injury? How many of these guys, Jake, are actually better than what we have in-house? And I'm not saying Xavier Newman is better than John Feliciano straight up, but he's been in camp for a long time, right? John Feliciano is in his mid-30s and has not been in a training camp. What's to say Feliciano could come in and immediately be ready for this offensive line versus a guy that they've had in camp doing the schemes, doing the assignment drills and everything like that, teaching, the coaching points to Xavier Newman. So in my opinion, no, I don't think we run to pick up an offensive lineman just yet. Now, obviously, if we get out of the game Sunday and it looks like crap, they have to adjust. But I think they have enough flexibility with guys like Myers, Newman, Mitchell, and Pohl to kind of combat that. You're not going to replace AVT 1-for-1, regardless of where it comes from. And you're not trading for an offensive lineman. So it's unfortunate that I don't think we're going to make a move, at least not this week. And I actually feel like you can make do with it. You're downgrading at 2 spots, right? Tippmann going to right guard is a downgrade over AVT. And Myers coming in for Tippmann at center is a downgrade at center, obviously. I don't see the big move. Like, who is the guy? If you bring up the name, maybe we can have that discussion. I just don't see the name out there that's like not going to do what Amari Cooper just did.
I don't think there's an obvious upgrade. So I think
exactly
you're relying on your coaching now. Can you coach this unit up to be a cohesive unit and overcome the loss of a really, really good player? I mean, that's it. Like in the past, the Jets have been poorly coached there. So they'd only would get anything done productive wise based on talent. No one got better. No one was coached properly. They had bad schemes. Hopefully it's better this year with Steve Hyden as the O-line coach. We don't know. That's the biggest unknown with the Jets besides Fields is, do we have a real coaching staff? I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah. And I guess the one thing I'll add, just because I don't want to downplay AVT's injury, there's probably about 5 guys on this roster that really could not afford to miss significant time, right? It would be Fields, Sauce, Garrett, Quinnen, and AVT. Like everybody else, you can kind of work around, right? Whether it's a depth player or, sliding over and using a safety at nickel, whatever they wanted to do. I felt like AVT was that one guy because of his versatility and his talent. Like he was one of the 5 guys you really couldn't, lose for a significant amount of time. So to not get any snaps from him in 2025 is a real bummer, and you can't downplay it. We can still be optimistic, right? But we can't downplay the loss of AVT.
Hit the like button if you are just tuning in. Dylan Tereman with us in his weekly spot. Everyone go subscribe to Dylan's channel. Dylan, how far are we away from 1,000? That key number for you to actually be paid by Google to share your insights on our favorite football team.
Last I checked, we're at 870 exactly. So 130 away. Honestly, the last week has been a bit of a lull. I think everybody's kind of holding on tight, waiting, anticipating to see what the Jets do. But hey, man, if they come out and win week 1, that number is going to skyrocket. We're going to get to 1,000, no problem. I've already hit the 4,000 watch hours, so it's literally just the subscriber count that's got to hit 1,000, and we're monetized fully by Mr. YouTube. So yeah, absolutely. At Dylan Tereman, please go over, give me a subscribe, come right back and listen to us. I would greatly appreciate that. I did a 2-hour stream last night. I didn't anticipate doing 2 hours. I was going to do like maybe 90 minutes. And I looked at the StreamYard time and it said hour 45. I was like, hey, F it. We're going 2 hours, baby. And the chat is always so lively. They keep asking questions till the buzzer. Like I felt like I had to cut off some questions. So props to you guys for being there last night. I really appreciate it. And yeah, Dylan Tereman on YouTube, go subscribe. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Beats Custom Kicks in the house. Shout out to Kyle and his company for decking me out in Jet sneakers all season long. Hey, Jake, I'm glad DT is a permanent fixture on Thursday. By far the best guest. Just have a feeling we win by 14. I know. Trust me. I've been a Jet fan 40 years. So it's crazy just to have a feeling. I hope so. I don't feel great right now about this game. I hope I'm dead wrong. I went on with Richie on the Jet Roundtable show I'm doing on Thursdays this year, and he asked me for a score prediction. And it's the first time I gave an on-the-record pick, and I picked Pittsburgh, so I hope I'm wrong. I might change my pick by the time we get to Sunday. I've been back and forth all week. At the beginning of the week, I was confident actually the Jets were going to find a way. And now maybe it's the AVT injury, like clouding my judgment, but I wouldn't pick the Jets right now. So I hope Kyle's right. The Jets win by 14. I'll take a 1-point win if they win. Just win the game. It's so important for them to get that first win. If they could do it in week 1, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate too, because I feel like since the schedule came out, you've been very worried about this game. So to come to game week and all of a sudden we almost tipped the scales with Jake and we almost had him on the positive side of this. And then the AVT injury happens. I'm not going to go full purple belt Mike and go, 3 losses down on the schedule. But yeah, this does make all of your toss-up games potentially less likely as wins. So this is a game that is a coin flip to me. I have it within 3 points. It's hard to say. Like, I'd rather just give a score with no winner, but I'm at 13-10, 14-10, something like that, 17-13. Like, it's going to come down to 3 or 4 points at the very most. I don't see this being a 14-point swing either way. So to Beat's point, 14 sounds a little crazy, but that's the feeling we should have waking up on Sundays. And I think that's what AG is trying to instill in the fan base, the players, everything around One Jets Drive. We need to wake up and be proud of this team. And on Sunday, when we hear the CBS, NFL music, we got to feel like we could run through that wall and beat any team lined up against us. So we got to get that feeling back. And until we actually prove it, it's hard. So I don't doubt you or blame you for picking the Steelers. If you said the Steelers were going to win 31-10, maybe I'd have an issue with you, but I'm sure you said it was probably a close game. So that's just where we're at right now. It's wait and see. That's kind of my prediction all summer. Yeah. 16-13. Yeah. Okay. So you're within 1 score, 1 bounce of the football. I love this analogy. Football is a game played with an oblong ball that bounces in a direction nobody can comprehend, right? 1 bounce of the football and you don't know where it's going. As you're a punt returner, it can bounce 18 different ways. There's 360 degrees that ball can go. That's really football. And if you just get that 1 bounce, 16-13 Jets could be the outcome of the game, not 16-13 Steelers.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us hope. Let us pray for a win on Sunday. Ryan, he already won today. He won a signed Ray Lucas helmet on our first show. He's in for more. He says, throw me in for another raffle. Rodgers is dead meat Sunday. 45 run plays, no turnovers. We win this game easily. Shout out to PBM back in the gym and F Beast. Wow. Beast and Ryan have been going at it in the chat. I don't know what started it, but some animosity there. As far as the 45 run plays and no turnovers, yeah, if the Jets are able to run the ball that many times and not turn it over, I think you'd feel pretty good about their success rate. They're not going to win too many games if Fields has to throw more than probably 25 passes. So keeping the passing attempt number down, the rushing attempt number high, and no turnovers, that's the path for the Jets winning this game and winning a lot more games than many expect this season.
Yeah, 100%. I was listening to Nick Shine's show from last night. I was listening to it at work. And he had everybody's favorite guest back from his hiatus on Allen. And Allen asked a similar question. He's like, out of 60 defensive plays, how many do you see JJ playing? So I'll kind of do I'll do the inverse of 60 to 65 offensive plays. If they run the ball 36 or more times, Jake, it's most likely going to mean that we're close or winning the game late in that second half. So I'm not going to say, 40 to 45. We saw them run the ball 40 times against the Packers, though. And we dominated the Packers, not saying, that's what's going to happen on Sunday, but they showed that the formula works. And then they ran it 33 times against the Giants. And then they ran it 28 times against the Eagles. You average that out. That's about 32, 33 run plays a game. If you're designing 30 run plays or 35 run plays, and then you can add in the scrambles on top of it from Justin Fields that don't really, they're pass plays, but they're runs, right? That's the key to victory. And I'm not saying run, pass. Please don't run, pass all over us. That's going to be so annoying if Tanner Engstrand is going to be run, pass. But what's to say you can't pass, run, right? Gain 4 yards on a little slide route on first down like we saw to Mason Taylor, and then you run the ball for those other 6 yards. I really don't see more running being a problem, and I've been an advocate of boring football doesn't mean bad football. So If people think, running the ball and offensive line play is boring, so be it. But that's going to win you a lot more of your games this season than anything else.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line, ladies and gentlemen. We got this one from Michael, who says, something tells me Fields is going to rush for 2 touchdowns. I just feel it. If you're going to place bets, Dylan, I feel like almost every game, anytime touchdown for Justin Fields feels like a pretty strong bet, given what we believe this offense is going to be. I don't know if he'll have 2, but I think Fields has a chance to score double-digit rushing touchdowns this year. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have like FanDuel at your disposal right now to see if they even have those anytime touchdown scorers, but I would assume Justin Fields is within like top 3 of best odds to win, to score an anytime touchdown. And you get inside the 20, dude, like that's what's going to happen, right? We saw it with the scramble play against the Packers, right? He beats the nickel corner, Keyshawn Nixon, to the edge, and he gets to the pylon. I predicted 8 touchdowns for Justin Fields. He's going to tie for the team lead with Braylon Allen, 8 rushing touchdowns apiece. So what's to say he can't get 2 more rushing touchdowns? Inside the 20, inside the 10, I mean, most people don't want to hear about the college quarterbacks, but Lenora Sellers had like one of the most, like the perfect designed run inside the 15 for the South Carolina Gamecocks, and he scored a touchdown, like basically untouched. And all I could think about in my head watching that play was, yeah, Justin Fields can do that. So why not, right? You have the east-west element with Braylon Allen or Breece Hall, and then you have the northwest element with Justin Fields. Like he can get upfield and break a tackle, but he can also run away from you. So there it is up on the screen. He's 4th in terms of anytime touchdowns, in terms of his odds at plus 220. I'm taking that.
I like this bet a lot. Yeah,
yep.
You can get this. These are the latest odds from FanDuel. You heard Dylan just reference it. Jalen Warren, the favorite, right behind Breece, who's number 2. I actually think there's even value with Braylon Allen at plus 250, given the fact we know the Jets want to run the ball. Who's more likely to get the ball around the goal line? It could be Braylon over Breece. So if I'm placing a bet on the 2 players on the Jets, I think are most likely to score a touchdown in this game Sunday, DT, to me, it would be Fields and it'd be Braylon Allen. And I think there's some value, especially with Braylon Allen at plus 250, looking at these odds right here.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think the fact that him and Garrett have the same odds is a little concerning. I think Garrett should probably be a little longer odds, like closer to Jonnu Smith. So I agree with your Jets players there for sure. Jonnu Smith at plus 400 is such a sneaky play, dude. Like, I don't want to advocate for the Steelers scoring points, but we know what Jonnu does to this, or has done to players on this defense before, right? The overtime game against Miami, where he just went all over us in the screen game. So plus 400 for Jonnu Smith. I'm kind of looking at that one too. And I'll be in New Jersey, so I'll be in proximity to be able to make some of these bets. But I would probably say I'm going to put $10 on Justin Fields to score.
Comments, questions, super chats. You guys know the drill. They cut the line. Appreciate everyone who continues to support this channel a year long. And we've almost made it, Jet fans. We're almost there to our first game on Sunday. Julian, he's in the raffle for 5 with this. Thanks for the super chat, Julian. What is one thing you want to see Sunday besides a win, obviously? Like, do you see any crazy individual player outcomes? What I want to see is a defense that is ready to go at the start of the game, an offense that could come out and not fall behind immediately. I want to see this team come out, play to the crowd, play to the fact that they played in the preseason. The Steelers didn't play their guys in the preseason. I want to see the Jets do the opposite of what they seemingly always did under Saleh, which was start slow. They were the worst team in the league in the first quarter during Saleh's tenure as the coach. I want to see a team come out aggressive, like challenge Aaron Rodgers. He was the worst quarterback in the league last year against the blitz. Put Sauce on an island, trust Stevens, trust Michael Carter, and really challenge Rodgers. And let's see the Jets get home with a blitz. They have the speed at linebacker to do it. They have McDonald. You have Jermaine back. That's really what I want to see, besides, as you brought up, Julian, the obvious, I want to win. But I want to see an aggressive defense. And from a player standpoint, I want Sauce to have a great game, because I think if he has a great game shutting down Metcalf, it makes it that much harder for Rodgers to get something going with that passing attack.
Yeah, I guess like MVPs on each side of the ball would be Olu and Quinnen, right? It's going to come down to the trench warfare, right? This is a physical Pittsburgh Steelers team. I guess my hot take, or like that crazy individual performance, I would say Will McDonald and Quinnen Williams combined for 4 sacks on Aaron Rodgers. And I feel pretty confident about that. Quinnen wrecked that game when the Jets went up to Green Bay a couple years ago. And I understand Rodgers had the broken thumb, but they were still destroying that pocket. And I would honestly argue that the Packers offensive line in 2022 could be better than what the Steelers offensive line is in 2025. And I don't think the interior of the Steelers offensive line is great. You have Isaac Seumalo, Zach Frazier, who has been good. And then you have McCormick. I don't even know his first name, but like those are winnable matchups, right? And even Broderick Jones and Troy Fontenot on the outside. I think those are winnable matchups. So I really think the Jets D-line controlling this is going to be key to victory. But I'd say 4 sacks between Will McDonald and Quinnen Williams. So maybe it's like 2.5 for Will, 1.5 for Quinnen.
Sign me up. Sign me up for that. I think they win the game if they're going to get that level of production
100%.
for the defensive line.
100%. Because then it's just going to make everything easier on the back end, like you said, for the Sauce Gardners of the world to play lockdown man coverage one-on-one against DK Metcalf. And let's be honest, DK Metcalf is kind of like the adopted son of Sauce Gardner in some of these matchups, just like Jalen Ramsey is the firstborn child of Garrett Wilson. And when Garrett Wilson tells his firstborn child about being a captain of the New York Jets, like he said to the media, he's just got to go say it on the field pregame to Jalen because that's his firstborn son.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Beastbreaker just wrote in, I made money today. Well, where's your super chat then, Beast? You're not going to get the membership and pay it forward to the community? What is this? Made money today. I thought you were retired. I have so many questions. I don't even know where to begin. I do know this. Go ahead, Dylan. Would you like to opine on
my
Beast?
9-year-old nephew called me for his birthday, or I called him for his birthday, and he told me he made $500. I said, did you make $500 or did you get $500 for your birthday? I think this is kind of a similar situation for Beast. Who's just handing you a couple 20s, Beast? I don't know if you worked for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around and we'll find out what exactly Beast did to make some money. But first, we start our calls off with Malcolm Flex. What's up, Malcolm?
What's good? What's good? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
You gotcha.
Hey, man, look, don't let anybody tell you that the Jets are dead right now, because I'm going to tell you this. Looking at it, the Jets on paper are a better version of what the Steelers want to do. Like, if you look at our tight end talent compared to their tight end talent, and yeah, that might be the one thing I'll give them, because Pat Freiermuth, he's a pretty darn good tight end. Darnell Washington, that's a freaking freight train. You know, you got positional flexibility right there. He's an OT playing tight end.
How about Smith? Jonnu Smith killed him last year with the Dolphins.
Hold on. Oh my God. Don't get me started on that one now. That's the one strength yet weakness of this offense, because Arthur Smith is going to take carries away from any and everybody and do anything he can to fulfill that weird kink he has with Jonnu Smith. So look for some wacky play designs that go absolutely nowhere and possibly infuriate Aaron Rodgers. That's what I want to see. How long before Aaron Rodgers takes the play calling away from Arthur Smith? Because you have two diametrically opposed forces. So, I mean, this game is an interesting little like back and forth. But other than the tight end room, which even then, you know, if Mason Taylor is everything we think he can, I kind of like our tight ends a little bit better, man. Stone Smart, Jelani Woods. I mean, yeah, you can probably, like I said again, we're not going to talk about Ruck right now. Maybe Ruck pulls some magic or something. But, you know, I like our tight ends a little bit better just because you can do some neat things with those guys. So the run game, they are deprecated on the run. Like, I know Steelers fans, they gave Najee a bunch of crap. But he honestly, I like Najee a lot better than I like Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren is so streaky, and he's just, I don't know, man. I don't know that he's ready for bell cow carries. And I mean, was anybody impressed by Caleb Johnson? Like
Alan was. We know Alan in the chat was resident Iowa Hawkeye fan, so we know.
Yeah, but you know what? We weren't impressed by we last year. Christian McCaffrey's out. Oh, the Jets got this now. I mean, and then Jordan Mason went. They got to prove now with this new coaching staff they could stop the run. I think Harrison Phillips will help there, but that's big too. We're talking about the Jets trying to run the ball. Pittsburgh's going to try and do the same thing. We know Rodgers is deadly on play action, so that's a big part of this too.
Yeah, the big thing to me is if you get 13 personnel, so 3 tight ends for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is that third linebacker that you're bringing on the field? right? Is it
Yeah.
Kiko Maui-Noa, the rookie? Is it Marcelino McCrary-Ball, who is a special teams captain? It kind of gets, scary hours, right? Like I would much rather have a proven linebacker 3 to go up against those big tight ends. And I would say the tight ends for the Steelers are a little bit better, but the upside of the Jets tight end room could be something with Woods and Mason Taylor for sure.
Yeah, but it's like, and then do you go big nickel though? Because that is always an option.
Malachi Moore, X Factor.
Yeah,
X Factor,
exactly.
Malachi Moore. Take Michael Carter off the field, or keep Michael Carter, and instead of a third linebacker, you put 27 on the field, who's very instinctive, very cerebral. He can come down into the box and crash somebody. So, and he can play man coverage. So that's I think my X factor right now is Malachi Moore over whoever linebacker 3 is, because I thought it was going to be Jamin Davis. He's not even on the roster. So
that pissed me off. It kind of pissed me off because I thought
it was a surprise.
If nothing else. Yeah, if nothing else, you could have him as a flex edge in a NASCAR style package, or he was good at coverage in Kentucky. Like not a lot of people talk about it. Jamin Davis was really good as a
first
coverage backer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, but that kind of that freaks me out a little. But at the same time, Jonnu Smith is kind of such a hybrid that you can get away with putting a safety on him. I feel like that's at least decent. So this Wilkes Aaron Glenn defense, I do like the idea of it being maybe a primarily 4-2-5 with the fifth player being more of a star rather than like, a set nickel. Like I kind of like that. I think that you can really help out a little bit with some of the personnel and, sort of the schematics and the X's and O's, and, you can stay versatile, man. You can still play quarters. You can switch your cover 6 if you really want, and maybe just give a little bit of help to the dangerous guy. But, DK, I don't know, man. I feel like we're going to see a legendary crash out at some point, especially if Aaron Rodgers starts like just ribbon play calling and forcing, and like literally just starts force feeding him the ball, because you know how
these things don't happen week 1 though, guys. Like I understand, like we're projecting ahead, but like he's not going to lose his bleep on Rodgers in week 1. I'd be shocked.
No, I don't think he's going to lose his shit on Rodgers, but there is going to be at least one example of Sauce locking down DK, Rodgers throwing a pass, there being a miscommunication error, and Rodgers giving that look, right? Throwing the hands up, rolling the eyes, looking over at the sideline. There's going to be a little bit of that. I'm not going to say a full-blown, crash out by DK, but every time he goes up against Sauce, they push each other after the whistle, and it's usually initiated by DK. What does that tell you? DK's losing.
Yeah. Oh, dude, and I've been following. I used to follow a lot of Steelers content anyways. I still do now. They said Aaron Rodgers is already incorporating the hand signs. Like there's 1,000 hand signs going. And then you got Roman Wilson, who's finally getting on the field. He's been in his head, and, they've openly talked about how Roman is so self-conscious about, the fact he's playing with the great Aaron Rodgers, and he just wants to impress him. It's like, I just see either him or Calvin Austin, somebody, because of a lack of reps, because you're training all these tight ends. You don't have, 11 personnel on the field. You don't have your slots on the field all the time. So clearly they're not all getting the reps with Aaron Rodgers. Somebody's going to mess up somewhere. So that's all it takes. And, honestly, I just think having Justin Fields is a cheat code legitimately on third downs, because even if everybody's covered, depending on what you play, let's say JPJ goes ahead and takes away Garrett Wilson, or, even Jalen Ramsey, especially if he's playing in the slot. All right, well, that means that's man, right? That's somebody with their back to Justin Fields. That's one less person in the run game.
Yeah, who do you put in as the spy on Justin Fields that's actually going to do a good enough job on a consistent basis, right? You can't. And your nickel or your slot corner being Jalen Ramsey, like you couldn't even choose him as like the overhang or QB spy type guy. You just couldn't do it. You have to pick Patrick Queen or Peyton Wilson, and now you're really lightening the coverage on the back end or whatever they're trying to play. So it's really a numbers changing type of quarterbacking from Justin Fields, but numbers changers in the NFL are so huge. If you can make a guy, or if you can make a defense add one man to the box, right? Now you just lightened up the boundary and Garrett Wilson could win one-on-one. And if you don't put that guy in the box, they're going to make you pay. Justin Fields is going to make you pay, whether he hands it to Brees or Braylon, whether he keeps it and does an option. Like we saw the bones of this in the preseason. I did a whole breakdown about it. And you got to have your box has to be matching what the offense shows you, and you have to be on your assignment. You can't have one missed assignment against Justin Fields. So, yeah, the onus is on the Steelers' game plan, offensively and defensively, to stay the course. And I don't think they can stay the course offensively. You mentioned it, him and Rodgers and Arthur Smith going back and forth, right? Defensively, are they going to put a guy on Justin Fields right away? Or are they going to wait till Justin kills them with their legs, and then all of a sudden they're going to try to spy and change their coverage on the back end? So game plan wise, I'm 100% with you. I think the Steelers have the harder battle, even though it might look like they have more talent on their team.
I mean, picture this. We don't know what they're gonna run game wise, for real. Like, let's be honest. They could literally they could do what the Ravens do, because you already know that Highsmith and Watt, they're probably going to be attacking. They're probably going to be trying to get upfield. Well, okay, the Ravens, they legendarily will call traps, counter, a lot of counter traps. They'll pull and they'll punish you for getting upfield. And then the minute that you stop, they go straight to the outside zone game. And next thing you know, that now the outside zone is literally running for a bunch of yards, because you have your ends. They have to kind of slow play stuff. And it's like, same deal. We talk about the linebackers. Okay, let's say you do a will exchange scrape over the top to try to take away the read option. Well, you just took your will. Now your will's going to the edge by default. What does that do to the interior?
You get the RPO, the RPO slants across the middle to just counteract the scrape. You got to attack where they're coming from. So.
What does Fields do well? He throws the tight ends well over the middle. He's like third in QBR at that. So there's a path to it, Malcolm. I love your calls, man. I'm glad you're calling in regularly, man. Awesome. We love the breakdown.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'm just gonna see, because I don't know what Tanner's thinking. Tanner might, he might not be the best play caller, or maybe he's going to be an amazing play caller. But I just think that there is opportunity to win this one. It's really going to depend on which play caller quarterback combination is going to get first. Let's go,
Malcolm. Fire us up, baby. Yeah,
we're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Let's hope they are built for it, ready to go on Sunday. All right, let's do some more calls now.
I love the comment that says Malcolm is a man's man. We had to quote the great beast, and Malcolm, you are a man's man, and that was an excellent call for sure.
To quote Beastbreaker, a man's man. All right, more calls. This guy is going to week 1. He's flying in from San Fran to be there. Coach Oglick. What's up, Brian?
What's up, fellas? Good to see you both. Coach? I'm so excited. My bags are packed.
The tone of your voice doesn't show it, but I'm sure it's in there.
When was the last time you yelled, Coach? Can you give us a jet chant?
Oh, like a JETS, Jets.
It's even that is not even that loud. I love it.
No, my wife is working in the same room as me, and she's
respect
the boss,
to the wife working. Absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta respect that.
Can she hear our voices right now?
No.
Okay.
She has headphones in.
I was gonna say I was gonna try and fire you up a little bit. I was gonna play you, this.
Hello. You play to win the game.
And then after I was going to play that, I was then going to play something else that I think would fire you up.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
And then I was going to say, all right, now give us another jet chant after I hopefully fired you up with those clips.
Oh, I'm fired up. I am checked in. I got my boarding pass. Let's go get some snacks. That's how I feel, right?
There we go.
So don't upset the wife. She has to drive me to the airport later. So
you're flying out tonight. Love it.
I fly out tonight. Yeah, arrive tomorrow. Wow. I will be waking up in Jersey. So
hell yeah. I fly out tomorrow around 3. So I'm excited too.
I'll come find you in the lot. I think I know which.
Oh yeah, E26 Tailgate Joe, Talking Jets. The whole crew will be there. I'll be there signing autographs. I'm just kidding.
Dylan, how tall are you again?
I'm like 5'10", 5'11".
Oh, I can't wait for you to stand next to O'Leary. He's still going to make you look tiny.
I met Matt at Jets Chargers 2023. Him and his fiance Taylor. I was like, yeah, you're Matt O'Leary. I was like, when you're sitting in the chair on webcam, you look a lot smaller. But I think that's like universal, right? We look smaller on camera. I know I kind of got a little face too, but when you see me, I'm almost like 6 foot. I'm like 185 pounds. So I'm not a small person, but compared to O'Leary, I will look like, a midget football player.
A couple of those guys are tall. Will's big, right?
Oh, Will's big
Yeah.
too. He's a former tight end. He's like 6'4". For all the O'Leary has to play wide receiver too. Like Will Parkinson did that for a period of time. So,
Jake, I know where he likes to stick his finger, but I thought Allen was a good guest yesterday on Nick's show. So
even calling Allen a guest is such a ridiculous thing to like inflate the man's ego. He's a caller who likes to troll Jet YouTube shows. That's what we should refer to him as, not as a guest on Nick Shine's show. Like give me a break.
When I heard the ABT news, like when I woke up and I was sad, be on the West Coast, I was like, I bet he already typed, "I told you so." That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I'm sure he was thrilled that ABT's done for the year. Probably made
and
his
the
entire
timing
month.
of his appearance was not calculated by the injury, he says. And it's like, damn, dude, it really feels like you calculated this exact moment to come in and poke at the wound of the Jets.
It hurts a little bit, but we're going to see some good football. Maybe not so much in the first half of the year, but I think this team is going to improve, and we've got great pieces around. The coaches are all going to get into form as well, figure out who the players are, in-game experience, make adjustments, which is something that probably most of us are really looking forward to. And I will say that, based on those tight ends, I have a feeling that our linebackers and safeties are going to play a key role in the Jets this weekend, whether we come out as victors or not. I really think how we match up against those over the middle, short passes across the center, I think that's where the game is going to be won. I don't think Rodgers is going to sit back there for 5 seconds and launch one deep. I don't think that's the game. I think we're going to be on them. I think they're going to run the ball against us, or at least try. And I think they're going to be looking in that first 15 to 20 yards from the line of scrimmage and just move the ball.
Coach,
absolutely.
I need you to have a safe flight. I got one more thing I'm going to play to fire you up as you get ready to go to the airport. All right?
Yep.
Here we go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
Yeah, all of Gators bangers are available on the Gator Sports YouTube channel. I'll post the link in the chat, but that's the latest banger ahead of week 1 of the season. So check that out. And if that doesn't fire up Coach Oglick getting ready for his plane ride to Newark to get set for Jets Steelers, Dylan, I don't know what will.
No, seriously. I got a little bit of anxiety when I fly, so maybe I can listen to some of these Gators classics and calm myself down. I'm fired up for the Jets, but a little anxious for the flying part. I'm not a big travel guy.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, gift memberships. If you want in on the raffle for a Jets jersey, there's only been 3 memberships that have been gifted so far. So I'm going to give 5 coming up shortly. So if you want a membership, make sure you're a subscriber to my channel, you like the video, and you have in the settings on YouTube that you want to receive a gifted membership. Robin Boy says, put me in the raffle. Fields is a Lamar comp. Lamar averages 48 yards per game against the Steelers. The Steelers, they usually beat the Ravens every year, at least once. So I don't know if that's the best comp because they're usually pretty good against Lamar for what it's worth. Now, Lamar did get him in the playoffs, and he had a great game against them. But we'll see. Look, I think Fields, if you want a comp, I think you're hoping he could be what Jalen Hurts was in 2021. I think that's a good barometer for the type of play I think Fields at his best could probably get to.
Yeah, 100%. And I love that, it's like a Lamar light comp. Like Lamar is just so shifty, right, for his size. But I would honestly argue with a couple people out there that Justin Fields, when you talk about speed and physicality as a runner, he might be number 2 in this league behind only Lamar Jackson, right? Lamar Jackson to me is the best runner as a quarterback, but you have Josh Allen. He's a very strong runner, but Fields is faster than him. So for all the strength that Fields has, he also has the speed. Josh Allen isn't running away from people. Then you have, Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels in the NFC East. Fields is faster than Hurts. He can still be as physical. Maybe Hurts is a little bit more physical. And then Jaden Daniels is too small to be a physical runner. So there is a good case. And then you got Kyler, too, who's like a human joystick. He's not going to run anybody over. Justin Fields can do both. He can run you the hell over, and he can run the hell away from you. So I actually like Fields being like the second best running quarterback in the league right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beastbreaker has announced that he made $25 today. 25 buckaroos. Are people wondering what he did to earn that money, considering the fact he claims he's retired? Dylan, are you wondering?
I'm scared to know. Will we ever get the straight answer from Beast on what he did? I'm not sure either. So I'm always worried when I hear any of Beastbreaker's intro music.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out.
I got gas right now. Oh. I'm working on a letter right now. And I'm not gonna waste my time on other shit that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I guess we'll never get the answer, Dylan. There you go.
Was he listening to his theme song on a loop? It sounded like it started back over. He said he's writing a letter, but
on delay, I don't know. Guaranteed Jet says, let's get a Jets chant. You know what? I think we could use that after that debacle of a call from Beast. Ladies and gentlemen, we hand things over to a man they call Fireman X. The Lump Man has gifted 5 channel memberships. Lumpy, thank you. You are in our raffle for 5. Big fella, I see you. You're asking about Beck helping the block. One thing I did want to mention, Dylan, in regards to TJ Watt, do you think that the Jets are going to use a tight end at all times, trying to chip a little bit Watt? How do you think they're going to go about the protection with Watt likely going up against Armand Membu for a lot of the game?
Yeah, I forget exactly what the percentage was of how many snaps they did that exact thing against Pittsburgh last year, but I don't know if you remember, Jake, there weren't any of those graphics about TJ Watt having 3 sacks and being a game record. The Steelers obviously won the game, right? There was 2 pretty terrible interceptions by Aaron Rodgers, but it wasn't because TJ Watt was wrecking the game. So I do think whatever they did last year, which was a lot of tight end attached on the right tackles, which was Morgan Moses on his hip, right? That was a lot of the game plan offensively. And if you're going to run the ball as much as you say you want to as the Jets, you would assume you're going to bring more tight ends in and attach them to the offensive line. So, yeah, I would be very pleased if literally 100% of your snaps, you put Rucker, Taylor, or Beck right next to Armand Membu, and you at least got a hand or a shoulder or just a little nudge on Watt every single play.
The only Asmaniac that could stop Rodgers, Voldemort, is Beast and his wand. Well, not right now. Beast is in no position to be stopping anyone. Yeah, we came to him ready to go, and I don't know, he's watching the tape or something.
Beast, at least he wasn't sweating watching the tape.
Beast, you have the wand handy to stop Lord Rogermort on Sunday?
I am the goddamn Terminator. 1984's Terminator. The most deadliest Terminator on this planet.
What about a wizard?
Let's get facts goddamn straight.
What about a wizard?
How about you take it and shove it up your ass?
Whoa.
You think I'm playing now?
I do.
You think I'm playing with you?
I do. Absolutely.
Oh.
All right. Abracadoodle.
Abracadoodle.
More calls, ladies and gentlemen. Joe is next. Hey, Joe.
Hello. How you doing, Jake?
What's up, Joe?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can.
We got you.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. So I don't want to necessarily bring this up or anything, but I remember last year, or it was during the off season, and I remember talking about trading AVT, and everybody thought I was insane by saying that. And I just thought that the premium of the situation, he was always injured, finally coming off a healthy season, trade him away, get assets. It was gonna be tough to re-sign him anyway, and then this happens, and I'm like, this is aggravating. So I really hope that the Jets maybe can re-sign him next year for like a $5 to $7 million prove it deal. But this is a sucky situation that we're now in. But I'm excited for this weekend. I do have some bets tonight for the Eagles and Cowboys game on FanDuel. So last year I won about $2,000 on FanDuel. So we'll see if it keeps going.
Money bags Joe. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, what's your best bet tonight then, Joe? If you're right, people are gonna start calling you, Joe
Man. I don't know if I can get off of this while I'm also checking the bets, but I know I have Barkley for a touchdown, 80 yards receiving, CD Lamb 60 yards receiving, Pickens 20, Ferguson 20, money line Eagles, Jalen Hurts
parlay
170.
you have?
What? Oh yeah, dude. I always do parlays. I did a 15 leg parlay last year for $10 and hit the $1,700.
What'd you do with the money?
I put about $100 back in FanDuel, and I put $1,600 in my account.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Money Bags Joe. Well done, Joe. Good luck with your bets.
We're going to have to tail his bets then.
Someone keep track if he's any good. Ladies and gentlemen, more calls, shall we? Home stretch of the show, by the way. We're not going as long as normal. I have a work-related thing tonight before the game, so that's why we started at 3:45. So appreciate DT's flexibility with that one. Let's keep it rolling, though. I believe we have Kyle Clifton on the line. I can't see his location, though. Usually I get tipped off if he's inside or outside. I'm going to find out at the same time you all are about to find out.
Inside.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's cold out. The wind's whipping up. Fall's here already.
It's cold out. It can't be cold out.
It's chilly over here.
It's not cold here. I'll be honest. It's not cold here where I am. It's never cold here.
So, good calls to start off the show today. I think a lot of what Flex and some of the other earlier calls were saying about how much we're going to have to rely on our defense to win this game, like the flexibility in the secondary. That's kind of the reason I thought JBC was going to make the team. But I guess we have other guys that kind of fill that flexible role with the kid we drafted out of Alabama and Isaiah Oliver and some of these other guys that can kind of help kind of disguise what we're going to be doing on defense. I feel like we're going to be able to limit them offensively. I really do. Now, whether we're going to be able to move the ball or not remains to be seen. It's just exciting to think about, a different flavor of offense, a new tack. Trying to get back to establishing the run, which I think we all think is key to winning. And having the +1 in the run game is something that's going to help us do that. It's a tremendously disheartening spoiler when there's a developing pass play, and Fields doesn't see anything. He tucks and runs, and he picks up 8 yards. It's like a stake through the heart to a defense. So I'm really looking forward to. We don't start the youth sports and this weekend. So I'll be able to watch the Jets game in peace at home. And, it's an incredibly exciting time, AVT injury aside. Let's see what we've got within the context of this new offense. And my only other point is I really wanted to know what Beast had done to earn $25. it was tearing me up inside. So I was hoping that the previous call had gone better. But
I saw what you put in the private chat, and I hope that's not what he did for the $25.
Whatever it takes,
Hey, Beast, what's going on,
can't.
man?
He smokes marijuana. He can't.
Beast, let's talk things through. Everyone's dying to know how you made some money.
I was already cutting grass today. I already made my money, and right now I got a personal problem that I have to take care of right now because, my daughter hasn't spoke to me for almost a year and a half. Which
oh God! Don't get to do this. No.
Makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh, here we go. You don't get to play the sympathy card. No, don't fall for this, people. We know what's happening here. No. Anyone who's watched the show more than 5 minutes knows that he always goes to that card when his back is up against it. The last resort. Enough. No way.
Just when Clifton thought he was going to get an answer out of him.
How can it be a bad day? He made $25 and he had an orgasm. It's all over.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Kyle, thank you. Well said. Well said. Julian has gifted 5 channel memberships. He's in the raffle for 5 more. Julian, thank you very much. This is for you.
Hello. You play to win the game.
We're playing to win a Jets jersey. I'm going to give 5 right now. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yours truly has gifted 5 channel memberships. And since I get to choose a video when I am the one who's gifting memberships, Dylan, I think you're going to appreciate this one.
Abracadabra.
5 people just got memberships, and I'm going to enter the following 5 people in the raffle: Boss Bentley, Drub Cabra, Will Monahan, Private, and MD. You all just received channel memberships. All right, let's keep it rolling here with the calls, and then we will do this raffle. Ralphie Rocks is next up on the show today. What's up, Ralphie?
Hey, Jake. Hey, Dylan. How are you?
Ralphie,
what's up, man?
Hey, the Dilly Goat. What's up?
Yes, sir. The Dilly Goat. I love it.
Look at that Sanchez jersey. Let's go.
Got a frame so my daughter can't ruin the jersey.
What about the Revis jersey?
You're the one with the ruined jersey. No.
Well, it's not ruined. We saved it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So Ralphie, for those who missed it, Ralphie won on the show during one of the raffles, a signed Anthony Beck jersey. He won that Garrett Wilson jersey. You won too, right?
Yeah. I was on a heater.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, you won everything. It was insane. And then the Sanchez, I thought, did you not win a Revis jersey?
Yeah.
Too?
Revis white jersey, but that's in for framing at Michael's, so that'll be next to this one. I haven't put them up yet.
Look at
My
that.
wife's got to let me know what walls I can put holes.
You're taking down the picture from the wedding day and you're putting up the Revis jersey. Is that what I heard?
Well, here's the other one I have to go with it.
Oh, no way.
We need a signature on that one.
We believe in achievement in this house. We believe in achievement.
You want Gary and Dave Brigger to sign that thing?
No comment. I believe it's true. It's going up on the wall, so we're going with that.
That's amazing.
All right, back to football. I would like Dylan's opinion on this. I think that Tippmann going to guard might actually be good. Certainly, we're going to lose a little bit versus AVT, but he's got a guard-sized body and not like a shorter, stouter center who can kind of get out there and lead the run. Myers was serviceable, but he's probably the best we got. So I think that's probably a good way to go rather than try to find somebody else for the guard position because Tippmann is gigantic.
Yeah, no, Tippmann being 6'6" is not your prototypical center size, right? Coming out of Wisconsin, it was already being questioned. Is he going to transition better to a guard at the NFL level than center? It's very hard to, win with leverage when you're 6'6", when the prototypical center is like 6'1", but I will say he does very well when he pulls in space. So that does advocate for both center or guard usage. So I think the likelihood of him going to guard and Myers going to center is probably like the most likely path. Although I would actually like to see Tippmann figure it out at center, right? Get those snaps completely under control, be more consistent with his snapping, and allow a guy like Xavier Newman, who has not as much NFL experience as Josh Myers, but he has experience going in for this team at guard. And I would rather just see that right now. Regardless, you're going to downgrade at likely 2 positions, right? AVT was your best guy. So even if you move Tippmann there, it's a downgrade. I'm very nervous about Josh Myers at the focal point of the offensive line to start the season. Maybe in a couple weeks, I feel a little bit differently when he's had some time on task at practice to really go in with the 5 starting offensive linemen. But for now, I want to see Tippmann move over to guard, even if it is just for one game. And then, Tippmann stay at center and move Newman to guard, and then kind of see how it works out. But yes, to your point, the size and also both labrum surgeries in Wisconsin for Joe Tippmann, that is very, overlooked in this entire thing. That could lead to snap issues if you have 2 bad shoulders, and then you're trying to win with leverage. So there's definitely a pro and con to trying to do this, but this is what the coaching staff was trying to avoid, right? The offensive line Tetris and constantly moving these guys around, because we know once you start moving offensive linemen, you don't stop moving offensive linemen. And no matter what, the next guy that gets hurt, you're going to have to shift it again. So I would say Tippmann stays at center because I want to keep Josh Myers on the bench as that center insurance, just in case the bottom falls out and we suffer more injuries. That's kind of my thinking. So I feel like regardless, you're going to have to, take your lumps and take your medicine with Newman or Myers. But yeah, I think your point about Tippmann going to guard, and maybe he is a longer term NFL guard at a higher level for sure. I can see that.
All right. Jake, I got one for you. I think that Aaron Glenn should have sent a statement by maybe cutting one of the Miami drafting guy that we drafted, the 2 guys, because maybe they're not doing great and they should be on the practice squad, and it would send a signal out to everybody else, like, if you're not performing just because we drafted you, you're going to get cut. Or maybe it sends a signal to the whole league, like, hey, the Jets are stepping it up. Just because you get drafted doesn't mean, like, Aaron Glenn wants the best people on there. What do you think about
Or it's the opposite. Oh, you drafted this guy in the 5th round, you cut him already. Like, it's GMs don't like to cut their picks. Their guys are on scholarships. They won't admit it, but we saw nothing in the preseason, especially from Barron. I mean, Mulagoa, if I'm saying his name right, he did more than whatchamacallit. And I think Nate made a good point here. They cut Malachi Corley, right? It wasn't their draft pick, but they made a statement by saying, hey, I don't care if you were the first pick of the 3rd round. We're getting rid of your ass. So I see your point, Ralphie. I think it's going to be interesting as we go on. Are they going to be just very protective of their draft picks no matter what, or is it going to really truly be, about the best players going forward?
Yeah, I think good teams put a statement out there like, we want the best players out there, and when you're looking for free agents,
they draft well too. Good teams. That's
right.
Our depth is shitty. Yeah, you're right.
And I'll say this about Tyler Barron, because contracts are guaranteed in week 1. If you sign a guy and he plays in week 1, it's not the case in week 2, right? The salary isn't as guaranteed. So I wouldn't be surprised if, depending on the results of this game, maybe they don't love the production from their defensive line. They go out and they go sign the Zadarius Smith or Jadeveon Clowneys of the world, and then they cut Tyler Barron, right? He would be the first one I would assume is cut. I would probably keep Braden McGregor over a guy like Tyler Barron. So yeah, it's definitely one of those, we're just going to have to disagree with the coaching staff on the 2 Miami guys. But I do think they have a better plan in place for Kiko, the linebacker, than they do Tyler Barron. Tyler Barron, I feel like, is literally just a placeholder.
Couple super chats, and then let's try and rapid fire through the last remaining calls here. Apologies that I can't stay on longer. Ryan says Glenn will take us to the playoffs. Watch and see. Ryan, from your lips to God's ears. Devin says, Dylan T, coming to week 1. Hope to see you there. Dylan, where are you tailgating for those who want to meet you?
Hell yeah, man. I am tailgating. I believe it's lot E26. But
Tailgate
it's
Joe, E26.
Tailgate Joe and the Talking Jets crew. So Ryan, O'Leary, Green Bean, Dom C will be there. I'm almost positive that's the same one that Nick Shine's going to be at. So we're all going to be at E26. So definitely come out and see us. That would be great. And I would love to meet a lot of the Asmaniacs. I'm sure between week 1 and week 3 in Tampa for the meetup, I'm going to be, meeting a lot of great listeners of this show and my show also. So yeah, for sure. I believe his name's Devin, right?
Devin, yep.
Come lot E26, bro. We'll chop it up. I'll be smoking and debating with Nate.
And you'll be smoking and debating with Ricky NY in Tampa.
100%. I can't wait for that one. I hope he brings the torch and he just blows a big fire poolside.
Can you imagine you meet Ricky in person? He comes up to you and instead of just saying hey, how's it going? Big fan, man. He just starts it off and he gives you one of these.
Now that is a hot take. Damn.
That'd be something.
If I had to script the meeting between me and Ricky New York, I would say I acknowledge him from afar. He sees something in my hand and he brings me a lighter. I think that would be like the best way to have it. And we don't need to say words. Me and Ricky could just silently just pass the lighter and then we'll pass it back and forth. R&D, man, research and development, but it's also Ricky and Dylan. I love that he branded that.
Hell yeah. A couple quick super chats, and we got to get to a couple more calls. Tippmann, very capable of playing guard at a high level in this league. Not sold on Myers. Maybe he'll be well coached and could surprise us. That's the hope. I mean, if Myers is your weakest link, that means you have a pretty good offensive line, because Myers has been a solid center at times in the league. He wasn't great last year, but he's had moments where he hasn't been terrible, but comes down to coaching, as we talked about earlier. Cheeseman says we will rally around Xavier Newman and play good football. Glenn didn't definitively say today, by the way, Tippmann guard and then Myers center. We all assume that's what's going to happen, and it's gamesmanship to not say anything, but I guess it could be Newman. I know Leger Douzable suggested that, right? Leave Tippmann at his natural position and put Newman at guard.
Yeah, and I'm pretty split, like 50-50. Like, would I prefer to see Tippmann at guard or Newman at guard? Like, I don't know. I'm pretty 50-50 split. I guess if you're looking at it from the perspective of Armand Membu, who do you want next to Membu specifically? I would probably lean Joe Tippmann. So if that's what their thinking is, okay, let's put a experienced veteran player who's ascending next to Membu, and hopefully that will help eliminate some of the rookie lumps for Membu. Whereas if you have Newman and Membu on the right side, it does get a little scary. But yeah, I feel like it's a 50-50 split. We're never going to hear it until game day. We're not going to know, who is the center and who's the guard. But I would say if I was betting, Tippmann would be the right guard.
Hamburger next up. What's up, Hamburger?
Yo, what's up, guys? How we doing?
How's the traffic? Or are you just sitting in your car chilling?
Yeah, no, I'm home now. I don't want to go in and have to shut this off. So I'd rather just be in my car. Otherwise, I can't hear my phone. It does some weird shit. But I tried calling in yesterday, and I was waiting, but I ended up getting an injury on the bridge, so I had to hang up and go for the AVT news. But I think it's man, I don't know, man. It seems like a little bit more serious than it's gonna hurt our offensive line a little more than everybody anticipates. I don't know, man. Thank God for your show. You're the only show that I listen to at all about any football. To be honest, man, I'm kind of a jaded fan at this point. As happy as I am football starting, as happy as I am that the Jets are starting, I'm beyond nervous as fucking hell, because it's 14 years of shit, and I can't look at anything positive. I understand your football acronym earlier and how it goes every way, but every team's got a magnet in that fucking football, and it goes to them, and it goes the opposite way for us. So I don't know, man. I'm nervous as hell for Sunday. I'm afraid of getting our asses kicked, and I don't think I could take a half a season of losing to see that we get better at the end of the year a little bit. I don't have that mentality. I need to see a winning season, because if we don't have a winning season, I'm not gonna watch as much as I used to. I'm not gonna be excited for the Jets football season. I'll watch I won't be a fan of other teams, but I'll watch more of other football, and I'll check in on the Jets. And I don't want to be that. It's 40 fucking years of following this team, and these last 14 years have been atrocious. Anybody can analyze it all they want, because the last 2 years are the analysts of, we're going to be going to the playoffs, we're going to be this, we're going to be that, and we sucked. So I'm taking this Sunday as a watch, learn. I am not trying to analyze their preseason. I'm not looking too much into their play. I want to see a professional football team be a professional football team. Whether they win or not, fine. It has to be close. It has to look like an organized football team, and the play calling better be good. It better not be the same old shit. If it's the same old shit, I'm going to be disgusted, and you're going to have one angry fan calling you on Monday. You get the fuck out.
I love it, man. The Hamburger speaks for how a lot of people feel. I mean, all we need to know is the Steelers fans always travel well, but so do Bills fans. It wasn't a Bills takeover when it was Aaron Rodgers' first game in 2023. It wasn't a Pats fan takeover for the home opener on Thursday Night Football last year. Like, this fan base is down in the dumps. That's why winning week 1, it's not going to change everything overnight, but it's going to do a lot to restore some of the faith that you have. We're all looking for reasons. So yeah. I love it, Hamburger.
I may not agree with his, negativity, right? But you have to at least, empathize with it. You can understand where it comes from. Like he said, he's been a fan of this team for 40 years. I'm not even 40 years old. So I couldn't even imagine 10 more years of my life being considered terrible Jets football. Like I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So I totally get it. The patience is paper thin at this point. And if they don't come out firing, a 1-4 start is going to lose a lot of people's minds.
Ladies and gentlemen, the original AG, Jets Psychic, is on the line. Hello, Psychic.
Hello, Jake the Snake. It's been a while, brother. How are you, man?
When was the last time you called in? I feel like it's been 6+ months at least.
At least. I moved back to New York from LA and been in transition, and I've been watching you, but I haven't called in literally till today because it's a very important day. As you know, right before the opener, my condolences, you're working, but you'll be with us in spirit, obviously, on the side. Bob Dylan, everybody must get Tereman. Nice to meet you, brother. Welcome
Absolutely,
to the
man. I
show.
appreciate it. And thank you for shouting out Bob Dylan, because that's exactly who I'm named after. Thank you.
There you go. Yes, everybody must get. Everybody.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Jake, I have 3 quick points, but before I forget, can you please just update about the Tampa trip before I forget? Because I think you said there are a couple days left to get the hotel.
Yes, I got to look up what day it specifically is because I forget off the top of my head. But if you're going to Tampa, Jet fans, and you want to get a discounted hotel room, the link is in the description to stay at Hotel Tampa Riverwalk, which is a Hilton hotel right in downtown Tampa under my room block. So just click the link; it will take you there, and you could book a room, and it's cheaper than anywhere else you're going to find in the Tampa area for an actual nice hotel that's not crappy.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jake. So I have 3 points to make, and I'm as diehard as they come. I can't. I'm not going to go into it now, but I was 9 years old when they won the Super Bowl. My father had season tickets. I had season tickets. My partner father also had season tickets. I met her out in L.A. We're going to the game on Sunday. She just flew in from L.A. Here are the 3 points, and I just want feedback from both you gentlemen. Number one, I'm just praying and I'm predicting, as the Jet Psychic, that we are going to revert back to the original New York Jets as the true unfathomable. Now, I think, Jake, you might know what that means, but back in the day, when the Jets were like supposed to win and lock, they fucking got embarrassed, and Vinny with his Achilles, et cetera, et cetera. And most importantly, especially for you, because I know you're debating between Sunday, I love the fact that you're going with Pittsburgh right now, because the true unfathomables, AVT, et cetera, I'm going to make 2 other points in terms of why the 2020-25 Jets are the unfathomables once again, because people are, I don't want to see the same. We're going to freaking win on Sunday. Guaranteed. And here are the 2 factors. 1, it's something called coaching. We have not had coaching in forever. And I'm talking about Sexy Rexy. I'm talking about Weeb Eubank. I was there at Shea. I'm telling you, AG is the real deal. And to see it, I was at the game, the last home game with the Eagles. Clock management was effective. Timeouts were effective. This is a professional, normal team now, and they have their blank together. The other thing, your thoughts really quick. You know what I'm talking about? The unfathomables. If you think they're going to get pummeled, they're going to pull the upset.
People have said that, though, the last 14 years, it hasn't worked, right? It hasn't.
It has not. I'm talking about the 80s and the 90s. Yep.
All right, it's a long time ago, though. So let's see wins, man. I appreciate what you're trying to do, and I got to run Jet Psychic, so please call back. But they got to win games, man. Papa Jet is up next. What's up, Papa?
How you doing?
What's up, Papa?
Hey, I'll make it real quick. As far as yesterday, the 14 ounces of Fireball, I'm one and done, just so you know.
I love the honesty, Papa.
I like Fireball. That's what I drink as shots, but I didn't realize I probably had 6 or 7 shots in there. Yeah, I'm done with it. And Malcolm's a great caller. You know, he played D1 ball. I love his insights, you know. His voice too.
He is what we call a certified ball knower. That's for sure.
Right. And then DT, the other day, Beast was on a couple days ago drilling. I don't know if you were watching that show.
Oh, he was sweating his ass off drilling into a leather jacket or something, right?
Yeah. And I know you're a trade guy, construction, carpenter, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said 3-day drill, unless I misheard it, but I'm pretty sure he said this is a 3-day drill. So what the hell is that?
And
so I wasn't exactly sure what he said, but if I had to just assume he was actually talking, you know, construction terms, maybe he said 3/8 drill, which is the most common size drill bit,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
But I'm not gonna Beast. I'll let you speak. What did you say? 3/8 drill? Oh, he doesn't even know he's here. He doesn't even know what planet he's on.
what am I doing right now? I'm just getting a lot of shit off my chest right now. Oh shit!
I tried, Papa. I tried to get an answer, but if I had to defend Beast in this moment, I would say he said 3/8 drill, which is the most common drill bit that we use in construction.
It could have been my ears. I know I had a Milwaukee, so I didn't know what a 3-day drill was.
Yeah,
And,
no, and the corded drill too. Like it's so old school. Like, I mean, why are you drilling into leather? Like they have hole punches that do, you know, leather material. So a 3/8 drill, it's like what's underneath it supporting the shirt that you're also drilling into.
It went through his mattress. That's for sure. But my last point is, and I know it hurts losing AVT. I'm still excited and all that, but I think the position that would really hurt us, even like losing Garrett would suck, but I think losing Quincy Williams or Sherwood, that's the hurt right there for me. You know,
Yeah.
because
With
behind
the
them,
lack of depth, absolutely.
yeah, I mean, you got Ball and the rookie out of Miami. You know, not saying they're not nobodies, because if you're on an NFL team, you're somebody. But I just I'm more, you know, I like where our offensive line is as far as who can fill in. But those linebackers, if one of them goes down, I think you got a whole lot of maneuvering going on. You know?
Yeah, 100%. The linebackers are definitely a vital piece to this. My only thinking is you can cover up linebacker production, right? You don't necessarily need world beaters at the second level, but it does seem like based on how AG wants to run this defense that the two linebackers in the middle literally will be the glue. So that would be another one to watch, as like you can't lose these guys for significant time.
Or maybe you, if it really gets thin, maybe you bring a safety in too, like, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what I think
maybe a
too. If they
safety
go
in the box and still have two other ones in the back, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how often they'll go three linebackers with Malachi Moore on the field, but I would love to see Malachi Moore be that like pseudo third linebacker in the box, because I think he plays tough and physical too. So I think he can, you know, supplement, you know, is he better than Kiko Maui-Noa or Marcelino McCreary-Ball? I think there's a chance that he could be. And then he's giving you more on the back end in terms of pass coverage against the tight ends.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Absolutely. And I had to grab my drill for you, Papa. I had to grab it.
I love that.
I
DT.
am a hardworking individual.
Spencer Green, Beast. Let him hate, big fella. You are the mighty beast and have seen through real pain, or have been through real pain. Tell these chumps how big of a badass you truly are. The #1 Beast Breaker fan, Spencer Green, chiming in. Beast, your thoughts on Spencer's kind words to you?
He finally grew a set of effing cannolis. I like that. That's still some respect.
Wait. This is your biggest fan. And
He's been on your side from the beginning.
Those who want respect earn
He's giving you respect.
I like that.
You should. He's the only one.
Burning the only bridge he's got.
Hey, just like a pimp says.
Hey, put a light on. It's too dark in there.
Just like a pimp.
Hey, put a light on. Put a light on.
Yeah. Just like a pimp says to I am not a meatball.
A pimp says that. Thank you. More calls here before we wrap. Jedaholic, and then Gary will close. What was that, Dylan?
He was about to pass out. He started getting woozy.
I don't have the patience for beast nonsense right now. Jedaholic, go ahead.
How's it going, guys? Happy football day.
We're here.
Dylan, you're one of the best new guests, man. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate that, man. Certainly appreciate that. Kind words are always appreciated. Thank you.
I'm excited for football season, obviously, like the rest of us. And I just want to say, like, yeah, the AVT thing sucks, but like, I'm not gonna do the whole doom and gloom. Like, I'm still excited. Like, of course it sucks. He was gonna be a huge part of the team, but I still feel like we can still have a pretty solid offensive line, and if they can just be maybe top 10-ish, I think the offense will still be fine, hopefully. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. And do you guys think they would make a move at lineman? Like me, I think it was Boy Green mentioned Brandon Scherf. I think he played for the Jags last year, but I feel like we kind of went down that road with Tyron Smith. So, like, would you guys be open to something like that, or?
I personally wouldn't. I don't want to take a guy who has been spending the last couple months on the couch, getting out of football shape, to, immediately be the savior for the AVT replacement. I think, to the point I made a little bit earlier, if you have these guys in-house, you've seen them all training camp, all of OTAs, you're teaching them the coaching points that you want to teach them. They're understanding your assignments, your concepts. Bringing in a guy like Scherf, while it is a name people recognize and it could be, it's just a move, right? It's a move to make a move with a name that people recognize. It would be like Amari Cooper coming to play wide receiver 2 for the Jets, right? I honestly don't think exactly. Like, it's not going to be a thing where it's like, oh my God, this is the best thing the Jets have ever done to save the season, right? I honestly think moving Tippmann out to guard and moving Myers to center is probably a 1-for-1 as opposed to bringing in a guy like Scherf. So no, specifically on Scherf, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And maybe Steve Hyden's the real deal, and he can coach these guys up and make the depth players step up, and hopefully it works out and our offensive line ends up being pretty good. And then one more thing, I know you can't be there on Sunday, Jake, but I will be there, me and a bunch of Jets fans, family and friends and stuff. I can't wait. I'd love to meet some of the Asmaniacs, so reach out in the Discord if you want. I'm in there. It'd be awesome to meet some of you guys for sure.
Hell yeah. E26 is where I'll be tailgating, so I'll be there probably like 9 o'clock. So I hope to see you there, Jedaholic. Great call.
Let's go. Love that. All right, I'm putting the raffle names together. We're calling in the closer. Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing and point.
He's pointing. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Gary Box point at you. I point.
Hey. Jake always throws me off with the layouts, and I never know what side you're going to be on.
Dylan, you were named for Bob Dylan?
Yeah, I was. I was named after Bob Dylan, and my brother Tyler was named. Screw you, Jake. Was named after Steven Tyler. So 2 rock stars.
Yo, all right. Because Bob Dylan, growing up, was a huge tipping point in my house. Like, my dad is a huge Bob Dylan fan.
Okay.
And my mom came here when she was 12, and like she liked like the Motown, like Georgina Tillman and Diana Ross and Brenda Holloway, like that kind of music, and like that's how she learned how to speak English. Like, she just played those records over and over and over and over and over again, and that's how she learned how to speak English like fluently. And like she looks at Bob Dylan and like, what is this? This is not singing. Like, it's the worst thing ever. My dad's like, this is great. My mom's like, this is great.
I can't understand it.
The first time she heard like a Rolling Stone, she's like, is this a joke? Is this a parody? Like, what is this? Right? So it became like a whole like tipping point in my house. My dad would want to play Bob Dylan, and my mom would want to play, Tammy Terrell. And it's like it was a whole thing, like all my years growing up.
Could you imagine trying to learn English from Bob Dylan though?
Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. But I like Dylan. He's all right. I like Dylan. Yeah. So a couple of things. X factors for the Jets this year. On defense, I think it's Brandon Stevens. Like I think he's the most important X factor on because if you look at Sauce, he's always had an excellent corner opposite him. At college, he had Kobe Bryant, who was the Thorpe Award winner, right? He had DJ Reed for all those years. He doesn't have that now, right? So he's going to have to step up. And I need Stevens to elite. He's not going to be DJ Reed. But remember, he was a running back at UCLA. It wasn't until like he was almost out of college football that SMU took him on and said, I think we can make you a cornerback. The rest is history. So he's still learning the position to some degree. Like he's still fairly new at this. He hasn't been playing this since Pop Warner. Keep that in mind, right? But he's from Plano. He's a Texas guy.
Yeah, SMU he went to, right?
Yeah, well, he went to UCLA first, and then
transferred to SMU.
He was like fifth on the depth chart at running back. He thought his college career was over, and then SMU took him on. I said, I think we can make you a cornerback, and now he's in the NFL. Look, guys, if the best you got is you don't like my hair, then I know I'm winning in life. That's the best you got, right? The best you got is I don't like your hair, which is obviously luxurious, and you're just hating. It's like I've won in life, right? And I get it. People are upset in life because I got a beautiful wife, 3 kids, a nice home. I got all these things, a job that I love, that I get to pursue my passion. So the best that you got in your life is I don't like his hair. Awesome. Amazing. Like that.
I love that you defined it as luxurious. I absolutely love that. I love that.
You're welcome. You get that's what they have to hate on is I don't like your hair. Oh, okay. Fantastic. Extraordinary.
Personal attacks are always an indicator of who's winning.
Yeah. Like I said, no one attacks Reese Beekman as a basketball player. Everybody attacks LeBron James. Think about that. And then on offense, Josh Myers got to be the X factor there, right? Like, is anyone else more vital right now? I mean, we know what we're going to get out of the other people. Do we know what we're going to get out of him?
No, Josh Myers, absolutely not. And if the preseason was any indicator of what Josh Myers is, I'm not overly enthused about the prospects of him playing center, which is why I've been kind of advocating for Newman. Maybe it's just because we didn't see Newman with the ones getting destroyed by the Giants defensive line or the Eagles or whatever. Well, he didn't play against the Eagles, but the Giants defensive line specifically. So maybe that's why I'm pushing the Xavier Newman stuff a little bit more, but I don't know, man. My longest friend in life of 20 plus years is a Packers fan. And the second we signed Josh Myers, he just basically said, good luck, and we don't want to see him start. And then I texted him yesterday and said, looks like we're seeing our boy Myers. And he said flat face emojis. Like he was very, very upset for the Jets fans that have to experience Myers.
No, I agree with everything you just said there. Hopefully this works out. I was really down yesterday. Today I'm feeling a little better. Like people have said good things about Myers. I know everyone has to shift now a little bit on the offensive line, but I think the line can still be really, really good. I think the point I wanted to make was Fields to Hurts comparison has been made a lot, right? Like, can he be like Hurts? If you want to be fair, like all the God-given abilities, all the talent that God gives you, Justin Fields clears Jalen Hurts. He's got a better arm. He's faster. He's got a better body. He's taller, right? Like, if Fields turns into Hurts, that's a disappointment for Fields. He's way more gifted. I know they were both Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of high school. I think they were 1 year apart. But Fields, if we were checking boxes just on the God-given ability, just the God-given talent, right? Who checks most of the boxes?
Yeah, I think it's Fields. I think Hurts has more strength, obviously, and it's proven he can squat like 600 pounds or whatever it is. So Jalen Hurts is strong, but I definitely think Justin Fields has the advantage from the physical side of it more so than Jalen Hurts does.
I gotta run, guys. I gotta take this. I gotta go. Appreciate you
All
guys,
good.
Jake. Excellent show. I have to shine. I gotta go.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
I wonder if he had to go because he was about to explode in all the comments and he just pulled himself out to try and prove he could get through a call without getting.
We will never know. We will never know. Gary's antics are always he's always one step ahead.
The chat's trying to bait him. Like I was putting up some of the comments.
I am getting distracted by the chat. I'm like, what the hell are meat munchers and why are they out for Gary? I'm so confused. Like the chat goes crazy. But hey, That's what Gary does. He's a polarizing figure in this community.
All right. So I'm already late to a work event, but we still have to do the raffle. But I owe the audience what's about to happen here, because this guy has not called in a very long time, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't get this guy on the air. So I'm hoping he could become a regular again, and this won't just be a one-off. But what I need to do right now is something that hasn't been done on this channel in a very, very long time. We say hello to a man who absolutely carried this very show last summer. Ladies and gentlemen, who knows what he will say today? It is time to say hello right now to our pal Scott. What's up, Scott?
I thought it was going to be Alan.
Yeah, it could be on. Who knows? Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Are you all good, Scott? We miss you.
Say that again.
Where have you been?
Had some health issues. That derailed a year. And I know, like, football terms, I understand things. Like, when it comes to the heart, it's different. That's all right. I'm cool.
Well, I hope you're doing okay, Scott.
Yeah,
We're glad you're back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Scott, call back with better internet, because we have lots to catch up on.
Oh, man. You're really scared of Scott.
That hair is fucking crazy.
Thank you very much, Scott. Good to play that one again.
That was a funny drop.
Peg and Artie in the raffle for 5. They are the last ones to enter. We're going to spin the wheel of champions coming up shortly. I love the Gary Butter drop so much.
I catch myself saying butter like that all the time. Butter.
Amazing. If you got a membership from Peg and Artie, thank them. I just typed their name manually in because right now, Dylan, I'm ready to roll. But first, let me read this from Spencer Green. He says, meat munchers are out, Gary. Spit the facts and make all these people sit and pay damn attention. The pointer is a legend. I like how Spencer likes the polarizing as maniacs. He's all over Beast. He's all over Gary. I love it, Spencer. You're the man.
Spencer is what we call an agent of chaos.
I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. I also love the raffle. I don't like that, streamer. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's spin the wheel and give away a Jets jersey.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Good luck to everyone that entered, but there can only be one winner on our show this afternoon. Reminder, if you win, email me the player, the jersey you want, the color, the size, and obviously your address as well. Good luck to all. If you don't win, you're automatically entered in our weekly raffle, so you still have a chance to win something if you participated. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is...
I saw a first-timer named Derek in the chat. I hope you win first time in the raffle. That'd be crazy.
Is it going to be Derek? Is it going to be Derek? No, it's Drub Cabra. Or Drupra Cabra. I don't know how to say this man's name, Drupra. I gifted him a membership to get him in the raffle.
Look at that.
That's how it works, baby. Yeah.
Look at that.
It's good to be king around here, folks. It's good to be king. Love it. Congrats to Drup. He's been a long-time listener to the show. I always see his name in the chat. Hit the Jet chant for him. Let's go. Love that. Thank you very much to you, Drup, for supporting the show. DT, always a pleasure, man. Looking forward to Thursdays all season long. Let's hope the next time you're on the show, the New York Jets are 1-0, baby.
Oh, you know damn well, because I'm going to be driving home with my cousin, the Steelers fan. If we win that game, I'm calling into the post-game show, and I'm going to rub it in her face. I'm going to be driving her car because she's going to be too inebriated. So you know damn well I'm going to take control of that whole thing, put you through her speakers, and make her listen to all of it. And I just want you to loop that Jets chant, baby.
I need that post-game call badly, man. You better be calling. If they win, I need you calling it. That would be epic.
100% I will call in. I will make that promise to you right now. And I will make the video going into MetLife for our buddy Nick Shine saying Jets 10-win season prediction, because he hopes I get drunk enough to bump my win total up by 3 games.
Hell yes. Love it. Dylan, you're the man. Everyone go subscribe to his channel. I'm putting the link again in the live chat for anyone who is unable to subscribe right now. You have no excuse. It's going to be in the description as well. So support Dylan and help him get to 1,000 subs. DT with us every Thursday. My name is Jake Asman. Again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Join the Patreon if you want to be a part of our Discord. We're back tomorrow, Football Friday, our first regular season Football Friday. Enjoy the game tonight. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I end the show with a message that I think is appropriate on a day like today. That message is simple. Jets, 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 Jets.
This scale shit, you all have pissed me off so hard. This is where I'm drawing the line. Maybe it's time for me to leave, because this is really getting nowhere.
Ungrateful. Ungrateful.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.